So when, with the negativity of other people around you, using your example, is that,
but here's the thing.
Are you bubbling yourself?
First of all, you're not rendezvousing with negative people around you if you're doing vortex work.
So I'm just happy-go-lucky and they think something's wrong with me.
And even if you are occasionally rendezvousing with them, they're giving you a gift which you can look at immediately rather than the problem. In other words, how are you seeing it?
Put it back in.
And we're not asking anyone who is feeling bad to extract good things from negative conversations. You can't do it. But we are asking you to notice the difference in how you feel and make it sort of your life quest to feel as good as you can feel as often as you can feel good. And as you begin to accomplish that, then the manifestations that keep showing up in your experience will reflect it. Esther has had such a strong revelation of that just recently as she realizes the immediate correlation between the thought that she has just been entertaining and the depth and breadth of the energy and emotion in it, and what happens or comes out of the mouth of the next person who walks through the next door.
Right.
It's like everyone is lined up, ready to say, this is how you're feeling, 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 this is how you're feeling. And it really is like that. Every manifestation is this is how you're feeling, this is how you're feeling. But there's more to the message. This is how you're feeling, want to keep it. This is how you're feeling, want to keep it. This is how you're feeling, want to keep it. This is how you're feeling, like to let that go. Yes. So if this is how you're feeling and you want to keep it, get specific, milk it, milk it, milk it, milk it, milk it. Practice the vibration of any part of your life you want to keep. This is how you're feeling, want to keep it. No, go general, go general, go general, go general. And what you'll begin to discover in a very short period of time is you can clean up your vibration with all of these helpful subjects that are coming to you incrementally and in bite-sized pieces, enough that you can resolve them. And it is our promise to you, the manifestation will come so fast on the heels of it that you will not doubt your power of manifestation.
Yeah,
you will not doubt
I have noticed that when my cycle is attracting irrational people with power over me.
Sometimes what happens too is that as you're thinking about it and talking about it and getting more of it, as you're offering vibrations and you're not keenly aware, so you're not looking for the correlation between what you were feeling and what you're getting, what happens is the buffer of time, which is only your perception, between your asking for something and your receiving of something is so extended that when it comes, you often don't make the correlation, except on big things. On big things, you really, really suffered, and then finally you get to a place of allowing it. When it comes, you just can't miss it because there were too many specific details that you put into it. But what we really want you to feel is that as you get a bead on this absolute knowing that your emotions are a manifestation that are reflecting back to you where you are, and then you begin doing something about that, remembering that everything you want is because you want to feel good anyway, so why not get the manifestation of how you want to feel anyway, and then let the details be filled in later on. It's really, really a wonderful thing.
So for the specifics that you're talking about with this reoccurring event that shows up, and of course shows up larger for me to see it, is it the positive aspect of that I am specific with, or I start with that negative? Well,
the thing is, the sooner you get to the specific positive, the more delicious your life will be. But you just can't get there from there sometimes. And when you try, you don't make the jump.
No, I'm like, I like my cats.
That really is the point that we make with these affirmation cards. So I don't have enough money. I really want some money. I heard these are good. Abraham's brilliant. They only cost too much. And they're beautifully illustrated. And I will praise success wherever I see it. And as soon as I see some, I will.
Right.
My what is need not influence my what is becoming. Well, blah, 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 blah. We are each responsible for the thoughts we think. I am in deep, deep doo-doo. My life is as good as I allow it to be. I get so sick of being responsible for everything. I'm always receiving the essence of what I'm giving. Oh, crap. I can transform my own world.
Yeah.
I can transform my own world. I can transform my own world. Shortage of time and money are perceptual. I can see my world through the eyes of Source. If Source would look harder, that might be true. So these affirmation cards are annoying if I am approaching them from outside the vortex, because what it does is it amplifies what I already believe, because every subject is really two subjects, what is wanted and the absence of it. So depending upon where you are, when you start affirming or when you start probing or when you start trying, it's like just digging in your heels. Haven't you ever had a conversation where you believe something and somebody else believes something else? And the more you talk, the more firm you each were on your opposite positions. And it's not because you're defiant. It's because you're keeping alive a vibration that is pulling you in that direction. So when you stop doing that, you just say, "Oh, later date, or I don't have to figure this out now. And I'll figure it out in good time, and I don't like this, but I'll just let it go for now." As you do your best to de-emphasize the energy around the specifics of the unwanted, then you begin to vibrationally move. So let us be very clear about this. When you really, really know that you don't want something, that means you really, really do know what you do want. But there's a stronger vibrational tug of war going on in that you can accomplish, but it takes more focus. If you sort of know you don't want it, then you sort of know you do want it, and it's easier to make that, except you have less inspiration to do it. In other words, sometimes the things that bother you the most are the things that bring the most inspiration from you. When something really, really bothers you, what you really, really want is really, really strong. It's just that you have to overcome all of that, what you really, really don't want. And we think most all of you are working too hard at all of this. We want to say to you that there could be 10 really important things that you want, and 9 of them not working out at all right now. If you're taking score, having conversations with your girlfriends, blogging about it, joining lists about it, what you're noticing is hardly everything's working. There's just this one thing that's working. And we want to say, if you would focus upon that one thing that is working and use it as your basis of your point of attraction, the other 9 things would come into alignment, and they would come into alignment fast. But most people are so problem-oriented that they feel like they have to get to the bottom of the problem. And we want to say to you, there is no bottom. There's no bottom, because it gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. The more specific you are, the deeper it gets. So stop it and go general. And as you go general, then what's really delicious is to keep reaching for the improvement that is also never ending. In other words, it is such a wonderful thing to stand where you are and know that you're not where you want to be. But know that you're in a good place mostly because you know that you know that you know that you're not where you want to be. In other words, my guidance system is showing me that I am offering a vibration that isn't serving me right now, and that's a really good thing to know. So now you're working. We've offered processes. Every process we've ever offered is to assist you in releasing resistance and move more in the direction of what you're wanting. Pick the ones you like, leave most of them alone, and just do what we're telling you today because it's the thing that's the most efficient from where most of you are. Just go general and you'll feel better. So as you go general, as you are feeling better, what happens is then the manifestations begin to occur to you. The first manifestations of what is wanted that begin to occur is an emotion. Next, you will begin to feel some thoughts will come into your mind. It feels like inspiration. Next, people will begin commenting. Things begin moving. In other words, it happens really, really fast. The manifestations begin to reflect your improved vibrational stance. So now, what has just happened? I knew what I didn't want, which meant I knew what I did want, sort of, although I couldn't speak it very clearly. But I did know that I wanted to feel better, so I did my best to find better feeling thoughts. And in doing so, I came into alignment with what I wanted, where formerly I was more in alignment with the absence of what I wanted. So now I'm more in alignment with what I want, and now I stand in this new place because manifestations that support my movement have now taken place. And now my set of contrasting experiences has shifted. It's improved. It's still contrasting. It's shifted. It's improved. It's changed. So now I start again. I start sifting through the contrast, know what I don't want, know what I do want. But I'm not practiced at what I do want. I'm more practiced at what I don't want. So I look at it. I think about it. I talk about it. I try to find the general place of it. And I start enjoying the deliciousness of getting more specific about it. And as I'm more specific about it, as it manifests to the specifics that I have specified, I begin to feel my worthiness return. I begin to feel my power. I begin to remember who I am. I begin to notice the correlation between the specific things I'm asking for and the specific things that the universe is giving me. And now they manifest. And now I'm off and running. Oh boy, I can feel the power of the universe. But did that mean that the universe took all negative things away? Is it now not possible for me to find out that dolphins are being herded and eaten? Is it now possible for me? In other words, did the whole world turn good just because I spent a day in the vortex? No.
Right.
It's still the same wonderful, diverse place that you knew it would be when you came forth to sort and sift through it in order to decide what you wanted. So there it still is in all of its diversity, but you are controlling the diversity more because you are more in the vortex. Now you don't have this much of the world to choose from. Now you have more like this much of the world to choose from. You've already honed it down. Now you're choosing from things I like and things I really like and things I really, really like rather than things I really, really like and things that I abhor. In other words, as you keep honing your energy and keep fine-tuning your energy, the universe is delivering to you more of what you want. Now you're getting more specific, and now it's delivering more specifically, and now you're getting more specific, and now the universe is delivering more specific. Until in time, and not very far from now, you begin to feel the reason that you came forth into this physical experience. Not to fix broken things, but to be inspired to new joyful becomings, you say.
You triggered something with the word fix, is that one of I've been really practicing to just say, okay, you know what? Just let that go. I'm going to focus over on this direction instead and allow that to just do its own thing. And I don't need to be involved in it. I don't need to fix it. But then there's a little part of me that ends up feeling guilty that I should have done something.
It was really good the way that unfolded, because you said, all right, I don't need to fix it. And then you said something that sort of was leaning in the direction of more general, but the longer you talked, the more you went in the direction of what needed to be fixed. So just talk less.
Okay.
Just
think less.
Just talk less. Talk less and feel more. Go for the emotion. In other words, if we could convince you that feeling better is the fix. Feeling better is the fix.
Without guilt. But I haven't done anything over there.
Guilt isn't the fix. Guilt is an indicator that you haven't got the fix. Right. When you feel negative emotion, that means what you're focused upon is an opposition of Source. And it's not fixed until you're in agreement with Source. And how can you trust Source? You were Source before you got here. You are Source now. You've been honing it out. You've been putting it in there. Source knows everything that you want, that you think would make the world a better place. Not only what you want, but what everybody else wants. And Source collects the best of all of it and holds itself in vibrational alliance, compliance, and readiness with all the good stuff. You're making a lot of noise with those cookies. All of the good stuff, all of the good stuff, all of the good stuff. Source holds complete alignment with all of the good stuff that you're wanting. And as you work yourself into vibrational alignment with all of that good stuff, what begins to happen is that good stuff begins to reflect itself back into your experience in the precise way that you said you wanted it to happen. And if you don't let too much gap go between your launching of the desire and your receiving of the manifestation, then you know your power. If you let too much time go, because goodness is happening. Sometimes it goes from generation to generation. Sometimes it's 3 or 4 or 5 generations later to find the peace or the gift in something, you see. We just don't think you should have to croak in order to reap the benefit of what you put into your vortex. Right. That's the whole point of all of this conversation, you see. Okay. Really, we make too much of all of it. But the reason that we do is because you ask sometimes for things that you're not quite ready to hear in the fullness. When we begin with you, the first thing that we said to a group as Esther was receiving us was, if there is something that life has shown you that you want, and you believe it, then it is. In full manifestation. In other words, if you want it and believe it, then it must be. And there's evidence all around you of that alignment. Well, those are nice sounding words, but most people, they thought, at least at that time, that to believe something just meant to say it. I believe these affirmations. I believe this. I believe these annoying things. I believe them. And we say, what you believe is the vibration that you keep practicing. And the question is, are you practicing a vibration that is in alignment with what you really want and what the Source within you believes, or something different? And you can tell by the way you feel. But if we begin by saying to you, well, just get happy, do you hear how many people just laugh about that? Mm-hmm. You got to be pretty unhappy before being happy is high on your list of things to do. Right. And when it is, then it is our knowing that you will find a way. And so that's really what we are talking about all day, every day. Getting right to the essence of who you are, and then reflecting that power back into manifestation.
So just letting yourself be, don't worry about all that other stuff, and stop thinking.
Think about how it is for a lot of people where they say, I will join a movement in order to positively affect this, and then we will all be happier in the achievement of it. And now you are here really understanding how backwards that is.